What is up, everybody? Welcome to the In the Pits podcast. I almost said something else there because I've been watching another podcast for like the last 2-3 weeks. It's been freaking terrible. I'm joined today with producer Kelly, who's filming OG paintball player. And that would be Ross McPhail.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I don't know about OG paintball player, but paintball player. Enjoy the game, enjoy the sport. So yeah, nice to be here.
Okay, so Ross, let's start with like the basics for people that don't know who you are or what paintball is or all of that nonsense.
All
Where
right.
did you start? How did you start? Why did you start?
So look, I started, 16 years ago. So I went to Paintball City, but the old Paintball City, the one behind the
One behind the factory, where you
yeah
drove
the
into the
German stuff.
factory's gate to go round the.
Correct. So I went there. So I got invited for a work party, and I was like, let me just go and buy a gun. So I bought a Griffin, a red Griffin
Oh yes,
rental.
those
type
ones
of
that
gun.
came with the mask
Yeah.
and the hopper and everything.
So I bought that, and then we just played, and then there was a team there called Strike Force. So they were an old Bushman team.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember them, but they were really, really good. I think they were actually champions at that point. And I ended up playing against them, and I ended up shooting 2 or 3 of them. And then they approached me afterwards, and they were like, "Do you play paintball?" And I was like, "No, I've been here like once or twice, like as a lighty, but not like this playing properly."
Yeah.
They were like, "Well, do you want to join us?" I was like, "Dude, I don't have the money for this shit." So they were like, "Well, join us. Let's see what we can do." I was like, okay, cool. So I started going to practices, got involved there, played, I think, 3 or 4 events, bushball events. And then I met a guy called Paul. So everyone knew him as Pura Paul and Jaxo Lang. And they were starting to get into gym. So I was training. And they said, look, you want to get good at paintball. We want to get good at gym and get some muscle. So I was like, cool. Well, I'll join you guys at paintball. Let's do a 3-man team. So we were called the Gym Bunnies. Geez, we wiped out everyone. It was absolute destruction. But yeah, I just loved the kit. I loved the feel, the diving, the sliding, the getting into a bunker, getting up, being like, yeah, I got him, I got him, I got him. And then from there, I stopped playing for about 6 months. And then Chris Birch got hold of me, and he was like, look, there's a speedball team that wants a player, a stag player. So that ended up being All Stars.
Yes.
So I joined All Stars, where I went through rigorous training with Jared, Greg shooting me in the back plenty times, Charles, Gio, Yaku. So yeah, basically what they would do is they'd get me to play against Charles, for example, and if I wasn't moving fast enough, they'd put a ball into my back
Ah.
and start again and start again.
Oh,
And
so
start
trial
again.
by fire kind of thing, not even by like accidents.
They would literally have Greg following me, and if I didn't move when they said I had to move, I got shot.
Ooh.
And close range, like literally how far you and me are.
Ow. Ow.
And yeah, ever since then, I just loved the game, man. I love the people. Paintball's very much a sport where it's for anyone. I mean, I was chatting about this earlier. Whether you're an outcast, whether you're a nerd, whether you're a jock, whether you are a rugby player, a swimmer, a runner, I mean, any shape of person can play paintball. And there's no other sport in the world that allows you, number one, to shoot someone legally.
A lot.
A lot. And number two, you don't have a risk of dying. I mean, you look at all the adrenaline sports throughout the world, paintball is the only one where you cannot die. There's no risk of dying. I don't know if you've ever thought about that.
Actually, no, but I'm thinking about it now.
F1, superbikes, skydiving.
No, but even just motocross.
Motocross.
Yeah. And just going back to your whole, like, it's for any shape or size person. Somebody out there's gonna be like, oh no, you got to be super fit to do this. And who's the player on PB Fit?
Oh, is it called the cow?
He's not a small individual by any standards.
But that guy, geez, when he gets behind a bunker, his gun is so strong. I actually love watching that guy play. Because as big as he is, even standing behind a can, he makes himself look so small in profile. He's actually one of my favorite players right now. I actually love watching him play. But the way he holds down a line and he just gets his team to start moving up that field is unbelievable. And he's a big guy. He's not a small guy at all. But like I said, that's what I love about paintball. I mean, you look at Paintball Fit, for example, they've got guys that are small, they've got guys that are big, they've got guys that are slender. I mean, you look at Stuart, for example. I mean, he's quite a staunch guy,
Yeah.
but I mean, that shows you the capability and the structures of the players. If you just take a look at Paintball Fit, they've got the entire dynamic across the board.
They've also taken the like unusual approach of having every body type on their roster. Whereas if you look at all of the pro teams prior to them coming into the pro division, it was everybody was extremely small, extremely skinny, or skinny, well built, and extremely fast. If you were a certain size, you would never be picked because you would either be too slow, you wouldn't be able to hide behind the bunker because you're wider than the bunker.
Yeah, correct. So that's where I think Paintball Fit has changed the dynamic. But I mean, you look at the rest of the rosters, most of the guys are relatively small. They're fast, they're agile. I mean, Keith Brown, love watching him play as well. He's a great player. But yeah, they're all relatively small guys. Russians have a small front playing squad. Geez, pretty much anyone. Paintball Fit's literally the one that stands up. But I mean, what they've done is they've come out of literally nowhere and taken the world by storm.
Yeah, because they won World Cup last year, and it was their first season being in the pro division. So in their quote unquote rookie year as pros, they won World Cup.
And now they're winning their division.
Serious?
Yeah, they're winning their division.
I haven't been like into any of the speedball this year lately. I haven't had a chance to watch it. I've just been hearing these stories of like what's going on here, what's going on there. Apparently Kelly's got something for me to watch later that you guys have seen, but I haven't.
So that was the final at the last one. So just to give you an overview, Paintball Fit won the World Cup. So that was game one. They then won the previous event to the last one. What was that one called? Can't remember. It was Atlantic City, which was the last one, and then there was one before that. So they've literally won 3 in a row now.
Oh damn! Okay.
Yeah, no. So they're definitely proving themselves. But yeah, that final against the Tauntauns, which also a great European team. I mean, I follow a few of the guys on Instagram. It's great to see them coming up. They've been French champions, I don't know how many times, world champions, I don't know how many times. But yeah, that was literally Tauntauns and Paintball Fit in the final, and what a game. I was glued to the screen.
So in terms of like final games to watch, one that's like really stuck for me that I will go watch over and over and over because it's on YouTube. I think it was the 2013 PSP Challengers final. It was Infamous and Dynasty. So this was when the PSP still had the lowest ranking team got relegated down.
Yes.
And Infamous and Dynasty just happened to be in the Challengers division for that event. They absolutely stomped on everybody in the division, and then they were the finals. And that game to me went down to game time, nobody won. Overtime, nobody won. And it went down to one-on-ones. And if memory serves, I think it was Dynasty that like pulled it out of the bag and got that win. But that for me is probably one of like the best finals I've ever watched. So would you rank it on par with that?
I think this one takes the cake.
Does it take the cake?
The weather, it was raining. It was obviously Paintball Fit, who's not shy of a final these days. And then Tauntauns, who I haven't seen in a while, get to a final. But same thing, overtime, no point, and then one-on-ones, and it was
damn
insane.
Okay.
But if you watch the footage of the overtime, I'm not going to ruin it for you. Rather do a blind reaction and check it out. It's insane. Basically, Paintball Fit and Tauntauns versus each other. They tied up the game, went into overtime.
Yeah.
And then overtime, I think it ended up being a one-on-one. And then one of the guys from Tauntauns obviously shot the Paintball Fit guy out, and he ran. And I think there was like, who's it? Axel. So there was 3 seconds or 4 seconds left, and this oak sprinted. I've never seen anyone sprint that fast in my entire life. And because it was raining, as he got close to the buzzer to go and push it, which I think had like 1 second left, he slipped and he fell.
No.
And as he got up and hit the buzzer, the time had gone out.
No.
Yeah.
That's the first part of it.
Okay, so let's have a look.
With a desperation run back, and with
just
6 seconds left to go, let's see how fast SAXL Godin is. Might be able to steal the win with 2 seconds. He dives over, and I think he has enough time. No, the ref is calling it off, and we're going to be going on to one-on-ones. Matty, Axel slipped as he was running. He has to hit the button on the other side of the start box. He slipped into the base of it with 1 second left.
I am not gonna lie. If that were me, I would be so fucked off.
Yeah, look.
Like, I've had a similar situation. Not happened to me, but to one of my teammates at Super Cup, when we had the Super Cups at
the Vol.
Yeah, at Emerald Resort and Casino. I got shot at. Most of our team got shot at. The most unlikely oak we thought who would actually like get to the buzzer got to the buzzer. He didn't touch the fucking buzzer, and we ran out of time. But he's standing at the start station, getting the crowd going, and he never touched the buzzer.
Oh shit!
But that's in the final.
Yeah.
And then it goes to overtime.
Okay, so what was it, like a 3-3 or 1-1 game or something?
Yeah, so I think that was it was 3-3, and then they ran out of time, and then it goes into the overtime.
So if Axel hadn't have slipped there, Tontons would have won it.
They would have won the whole damn thing. And then I
Hey.
think it went into overtime.
Not only did he slip trying to get to the buzzer to seal the game out, but then he bounces the guy, and the guy shoots him out in the 1v.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was absolutely
that can't-
crazy. It was such a good game to watch. Look, unfortunately, Tontons lost. They played their hearts out, but flip, what a game, eh? For paintball, I think that was one of the best games I've seen in a final.
And would that have been, correct me if I'm wrong, but does paintball still do the first player or the first team to win, what is it, 3 out of the 5 1v1s? Or 2 out of the 5?
No, it's 1v1.
Oh, is it just single 1v1 and that's
1v1.
it? Oh, so okay, so it's no longer the first team to win 2 or 3 1v1s wins this. It was just
1v1. Deathmatch.
and actually, oh my word.
It was a deathmatch.
Dude, that is so, after, like, you know, you have like, that's meant to be your paintball glory moment. Now, regardless, whatever happens to Axel going forward now, regardless what kind of glory moment he has, that's going to, at least the way I know how the internet works, to be like, yeah, but remember that time you slipped
Yeah.
and then you lost the 1v1 and you guys, like.
Look, but knowing Axel, if he gets into that type of position again, I mean, as a player, I don't personally know him. I don't think that'll sit on him for long. I think he'll get back on the horse and he'll probably end up winning Tonton a few games.
I know he'll definitely like close out. He's a phenomenally good player.
Oh.
I mean, all you do is look for that blue beanie.
Yeah.
But still, if that happened to you, would you continue to play paintball afterwards? After you trip and fall going for the start station, and then you're like, nah, I'm going to make this right. I'm doing the 1v1. And then you get...
Look, I mean, if you had asked me that question 5 years ago, I probably would have packed up my kit and said, I'm done.
You're done with it.
Today, even at World Cup in France when we go, no, I'd probably carry on playing. I'd make sure I try and redeem myself.
Fair enough.
Not just for myself, but for my team.
Fair enough. Speaking of World Cup in France, when do you guys go over? End of August, start of September?
Yeah, so we should be prepping to fly out, I'm guessing around the 22nd of August.
Okay.
And then I think Cup starts the 27th or the 28th of August.
Okay. And then you guys are entering Nations Cup, and then I'm assuming you guys also playing in the event for the weekend as well in what, D2 or D3?
We're doing D2.
Oh, you're doing D2?
We are doing D2.
Ah, okay. So you guys are you
yeah.
guys are going there to prove a point.
Yeah, look, we didn't want to go into D3. We felt it a little bit unfair.
Okay.
Because obviously our point systems obviously changed quite a bit now in South Africa.
Yeah, because I think most of us, if I'm not mistaken, everybody that's been playing for the last 10 years is still probably a D3 ranked player.
I'm a D4.
Hey?
I'm a D4 player.
Hey, that means I must be a D6 player.
So I'm D4 now. So yeah, we've decided to go into the D2 bracket. Look, there's guys that have been playing for ages. I mean, Dolphin, you know Dolphin.
Yeah.
Great player, great attacking player. Mark Gabo, who's been on the international field a few times, even in Thailand recently. Yeah, and then some of my teammates from Katana. So yeah, there's some talent, eh? We're taking, I think it's 9 or 10 guys over.
So now, Russ, what made you decide that this year, as the example, well, not this year, selections were done last year, but what made you decide, like last year, come try out for the SA team versus any of the other years prior?
Look, I think obviously you need to get to a point where you feel like you can represent and back yourself.
Yes.
In the past, I was a good player. I wouldn't say that I was a die-hard paintball fan. And I think with me opening up Adventure City in Zim and finding a true love again for paintball like I did many years ago.
When you first started.
It kind of got me back into like, shit, okay, well, let's play. and I'd get on the field and I'd get that same rush that I'd get back then, where you start at the start station and you hear the guys go 10 seconds and you're like, yeah.
And the world, like everything becomes dead quiet around you.
Yeah.
That whole...
And your heart, you can feel your heart and you can hear your breathing. And then the second that gun just comes up and you just hear that thing ramping, it's just, you know, there's not a sport like it and there's not a feeling like it. And yeah, the bug bit me again and I was like, well, if I'm in it,
might as well go all the way.
Might as well go all in. So obviously I've been chatting to Mark quite a bit, who owns Paintball Place. Helped me quite a bit with Adventure City. And he was like, look, we're doing tryouts for South Africa, come. And I was like, should I come? Should I not come? And then I ended up having a conversation with Troy from Dar.
Yes.
Literally the night before. And he was like, look, are you going to go to practice? And I was like, dude, I don't know. I'm playing against guys that are running on a paintball field nearly every other weekend. I don't play as much as what they do.
Yeah.
And he was like, Ross, just back yourself. Go there and just show them what you can do. And I was like, Troy, I haven't run in ages. I haven't shot my gun in ages. I mean, the last time I played in a tournament was, I think, like 2 years ago. And then I ended up coming and playing for Katana. We ended up winning SA Champs or whatever the case was. And that
was last year's season, right?
Yeah, last year's season. So then I obviously came for the trials. And yeah, I think everyone was just shocked. I started running. I don't think people expected how fast. I think that kind of blew quite a few people away. And then diving. I mean, I broke my collarbone 3 years ago. I haven't dived on it. The SA practice was the first time I dove on my shoulder. That kind of threw me into a work. I was like, shit, is that okay? Is it fine?
Did I break it again?
Yeah,
Did I not break it?
Do I need a plate in again? And then, yeah, I just started playing and I fell in love again. And I was like, shit, you know what? If I get chosen for SA, then I'm going to go all out. And
okay.
That's what I've started doing, training every weekend.
And then how often do you come down to here? Because you said you've got your own thing happening now up in Zim. So how often do you make the trek here to come and train versus just training at home?
Yeah, so I come once a month.
Okay.
Trying to make it twice a month, but it's a bit difficult. It's expensive.
I can imagine so. Yeah.
And obviously we got to fund ourselves to get to the World Cup as well.
Yeah.
So do you say, right, I'm going to allocate 15,000 Rand to fly from Zimbabwe to South Africa twice a month, or do I put some of their money away so that I can at least get to the World Cup? Yeah. So it's a rock and a hard place. But look, it doesn't stop me from training. I'm at Adventure City every Saturday, pretty much every Sunday, running drills, shooting. Sometimes I get some brave guys from Zim that come and grab my rental guns and they play against me. End up playing anything from 4 people to 10 people.
That's a bit unfair, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, look, I obviously say to them, I'm not going to hurt them or anything. So it's more for me to dial in lanes, dial in snap shooting, that type of thing. If they run me down, they run me down. It's not like I'm going to go and fetch them.
Okay, fair enough.
So it's not like playing pros, but I have to admit, like after coming today and practicing, with going through like that whole dynamic of having guys from Zim playing against me with so many people, my field awareness has increased dramatically.
So you can, so for lack of a better word, you can sit here in say Snake Corner where we're actually sitting at the moment.
Yeah.
And you can, out of your peripheral, catch the guys coming down the Dorito side of the field as the example.
Well, not even looking, just hearing. So listening for their guns, which is something I've never done before in paintball. I've never thought I would need that skill. And obviously doing these 4-on-1s, 5-on-1s, 6-on-1s, 7-on-1s, 10-on-1s, you start becoming more aware because now you realize you've got to back yourself, number one. Number two, these guys don't play pro paintball. They play paintball.
Yeah, they just shoot each other, and if they get shot, they're like, I don't know, and they might continue to shoot you more.
And they run at you. They run at you. Whereas pro players, if you know you're playing someone that's really good at holding a lane, you're not going to run at him.
Yeah, you're not going to go challenge him, yeah.
They don't care. They're like, yes, I ran him down. I shot him. It's like, it's so cool. Like, it's a different dynamic there. And because it's so new, people just want to keep playing and playing and playing. So, yeah, it's fun.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think this
is definitely one of the more, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the more offensively capable teams that have gone over in a long time.
Yeah, I think if you look at the lineup, I think there's quite a few all-round players, so it does change the game a bit.
Yeah, but
there's a lot of attacking.
Yeah, but the vast majority of the team isn't that quote-unquote dedicated back center or dedicated second Dorito, second Snake player. Most of the team is
attack.
Yeah, first line snake or Dorito kind of
We're all pretty much attacking players, every single one of us. So I think it's going to add a different dynamic to how we play. I think building up to it, we're going to have to do a lot of practicing, a lot of communication drills.
Yeah.
Just to sort of get like that edge to say, right, guys, this is how we're going to do it. We can play around with our game. Look, it makes us dynamic. Reason being is because we all attack players, a lot of us can also throw lanes. So it means some of us can actually sit back, hold the lane, and if one of our guys drop in the front,
you can very quickly fill the spot. Yeah.
So it does change the game quite a bit, but I think we're also going to have discipline to actually sit back and get those lanes going.
Yeah, sit and wait for them to maybe push through that lane kind of thing.
Or zone control. Let's get the zone control. Let's get some kills and then move up the field.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Like if you blow open the snake or the Dorito side of the field, then make your move up.
So I think that aspect, South Africa is really good at zone controlling, but we're also very good at attacking. And if someone like Dolphin sees a gap, trust me, they're actually getting on his horse.
Yeah, no, he goes. There is no, you don't have to tell him go, because by the time you've thought as his second to tell him to go, he's already gone 2 or 3 bunkers, and now you have to go play catch up.
Exactly. So look, I think it's going to add a nice dynamic. It's a strong team going over. Even the likes of Dino. Dino's a strong gun. So yeah, I think we're going to have some fun. There's some youngsters in the team as well. I myself, I've never played for South Africa, so this is going to be an honor for me. I think there's a few of us that actually haven't represented South Africa on an international level.
As far as I'm aware of team roster, I think you guys have 2 or 3 previous SA players out of the entire roster. And it's going to be, you think like you've dealt with it and it's set in what it means. Like Ross, I don't know if it's going to be the same for you as it was for me, but I was like, cool, I'm going. When I got on the plane, I was like, it's fine. When we landed there, it was fine. When we picked up our gear, like when you pick up the jersey and it says Team South Africa on the front, you turn around and it's your name and number on the back. Then all of a sudden, in that moment, everything just set in like, oh. Like, oh.
This is getting real now.
Yeah, we need to like up and go kind of thing. It was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like fine until I got there, until I realized like, oh wait, this is like legitimately, I don't know, it was a weird like out of body experience moment for me. Like I turned it over, I turned it back over, and I turned it over again. So yeah, it's a very weird, like only way I can relate to it is like, you know, when you watch the Springboks play and you watch them sing the national anthem and there's like, you can't figure out why they are as like, and as psyched about it as they are. When you walk onto that field for, I guess it's like the Nations Parade where they introduce each team. Yeah, no, I can understand why, because you're just like so psyched and go that.
Look, I mean, at the end of the day, what's the highest form of your sport? Would be representing your country.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're so blessed to actually go over there and play for our country and represent, the big thing. I mean, it's a big thing for anyone that represents their country, any athlete.
And it's just because the sport is extremely niche or extremely small doesn't take away from that fact. Like, doesn't matter if you've done it for paintball, swimming, rugby.
Soccer, cricket.
Yeah, soccer, cricket. Another
archery,
really odd sport, like archery or something
shooting.
like that. Yeah.
So it's different, but look, I'm looking forward to it. I think the nerves will hit when I land. Hopefully my experience pulls me through and gets me just to Wusa. I'd imagine probably first point I'd get a little bit nervous, but once I'm in my rhythm, then calm down.
Now somebody just needs to shoot you once.
Yeah, that's all it is.
And then the mentality is going to take over. Nah.
We need to get this back now. So, yeah.
Just stay fast, eh? Like what you see on YouTube doesn't tell you, like it doesn't do justice to how fast guys like Axel Godin, Keith Brown, or Alex Goldman for that matter, how fast they actually are in getting to their bunkers.
And not just that, getting their guns back up to shoot back at you.
It's crazy. Our first point in Nations Cup, we played against the Russians. And at that time, it basically was Russian Legion was the Russian national team. That first point, I think, like we were expecting it to, I guess we all were on the field, was like, okay, it's going to be similar to how paintball is here, a little bit slower. I think that first point, 2 points, we made our primary bunkers. The Russians had made secondaries, tertiary moves, shot some of us out. And then we kind of sort of figured out, okay, cool. And I think we pulled 2 points back.
Oh,
So yeah, but it was a big eye opener, and to watch, like, get to watch the pro teams on the pro field, like, actually play, to see how quick and.
But Red Legion or Russian Legion, I mean, that team, they're very good at turning a game into a Russian game.
Oh yes.
You play their paintball,
or you don't play paintball.
So yeah, they've got a very different edge. I mean, they get on a field, and before you know it, you're literally playing their type of paintball, and that's how they win points. Is because you end up playing their game instead of your own game. So I think, as South Africa, I think if we can stick to our zone control, stick to what we play and how we play, I think we can win some points. I'd like to think we can win the whole damn thing.
I mean, that would be there's a part of me that's like, yeah, you guys need to win it, because that would be a huge thing for like South African paintball. But at the same time, can you imagine what it's going to be like when you guys come back, if you guys have won the World Cup?
Be a world champion.
Yeah, but there'll be like some of those players that'll just like take it that little bit extra. We won't name names, but we all know like the group.
Yeah, no, look, yeah, look, that would be the pinnacle of the sport, especially for myself. I'd love to come back as a South African representation and a South African champion and a world champion.
Oh, definitely.
So we've got the South African champs down. Now it's time for the world championship.
So speaking of, while we're still on the topic of the SA team going over, I can't help but notice the shirt that you're wearing now. Is that like official team gear, or is it?
So this was originally designed to be a South African team shirt.
Okay.
Now we've obviously decided that we need to try and raise some funds to help us get there.
Yes.
So we're actually selling these.
Okay, so are those like support?
Yeah, supporter shirts.
Shirts.
Very cool. Team South Africa 2025. Dude playing paintball cartoon, and then paintball
and then
on the back.
The SAXL, which is the current paintball league, and then nice. Hey, very nice. And where can, if people want to get these, where can they find them?
You can get hold of Paintball Place. You can get hold of Adventure City.
Okay.
Yeah. Send Mark a message. Send myself a message. Let's pre-order. Yeah. Ideally, we'd like to sell at least 50 of them. So there's shirts. There's a hoodie coming out like this as well.
Okay.
So I'm busy with that now. We've got socks. Team South Africa socks.
Okay. And what are we looking at price-wise?
So these are 360 Rand.
Yeah.
It's not bad. They dry fit. So it's a great material. Socks are 250 Rand for a pair, and then hoodies, I'll let everyone know about the price.
Okay, cool. And when is the cutoff date for orders? Because I'm assuming you guys aren't doing these per order. It's like we need to get X amount so the factory can, I'm assuming you buy in bulk. Yeah,
so look, we can do a bulk order. I've got a very good relationship with the guys, so if we do have some stragglers at the end of it, they want like a shirt here, a shirt there, happy to do it. But I think going forward, what we'll do is we'll place the order for the month, end of the month ship up.
Okay, and then start of the next month go again.
Yeah.
Okay, great stuff.
Just to keep costs low, because you don't want to pay transfer fees and
or you don't want to pay the shipping for like 2 freaking shirts, kind of.
Exactly. So yeah,
okay,
should be fun. Support us. Get us to the World Cup, guys, please.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's what, 2 months or
2.5 months.
You're not a lot of time, eh?
Yeah. That's why I'm on a field every day.
Fair enough. If you could, let's say, from the list of the paintball players that you've played with or played against or met in the last, let's say from what, 2000? Because I would assume that's when paintball really took off, was what, 2005, 2006?
Yeah.
What would be your dream team to either take overseas or 2 Nations Cup, or just to play here locally? What would be your ideal roster of, let's say, 7, 8 players?
Look, I think experience helps a lot. In terms of experience, I'd probably end up taking Jared Yeo, Charles Hume, Greg McDonald. So that would be like the, in fact, Chris Birch. So what's that, 4, eh?
Yeah.
Front player, Alex Jardini. Mark Haber all round. Dolphin.
Yeah.
Dane Carfoot.
And then
Jax O'Lang.
So that would be your dream 10.
Yeah.
Not putting yourself in there.
Nah.
Interesting. Very interesting. Some of those names, I was like, I think when I started playing, some of them had stopped playing, kind of thing. But you knew who they were just because. I mean, like, Chris Birch, if you've done anything in paintball in this country in like the last 15 years, you know of Chris and Nick.
100%.
By like default. And no Troy? I'm assuming you've never had the...
I've played against Troy.
Have you had the pleasure of playing
times.
against Troy? But did you have the pleasure?
I think I would bring Troy up as coach.
As coach?
Yeah.
So I had the pleasure of playing against Troy, and this was years ago. I was still playing Division 4, and we'd been playing 3-man for the whole year. We decided, hey, listen, we know like 2 other Oaks. We're going to go play Super Cup 5-man D4, right?
All right.
5-man roster. So nobody to sub out for you if you're tired. No rotations, nothing. And we were training at Paul Grobler's field when he still had Adventure and Beyond. And we were training against 4, 5, 6 killers. And for lack of a better word, like at the time, we were the more experienced team. So we set up quicker, we shot them out, and we pushed the advantage. Troy was coaching them at the time. He's like, listen, guys, just calm it down a bit because they also need to thing. And we were, for lack of a better word, a bunch of dickheads about it. But like, no, but we also need to train. So but Troy's like, listen, hold your primaries and then move from there. We're like, okay, cool, we're going to hold our primaries. Ross, I kid you not. 20 seconds, Troy was on our side of the field. He had shot out everybody but me. And as I stuck my head out the bunker to see what was going on, Troy was like right there.
Look, Troy's a great player. He always has been. I
mean, even now, considering he's just under 50, just over 50, I think Troy would give any player in our league currently a good run for their money.
100%. But I mean, there's a lot of old boys that still could.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of names that I've left off. Andrew Lee.
Actually, yeah.
Andrew Lee, Giovanni, Wayne from Awesome, Wayne LaRue. I think he actually went to a World Cup as well once upon a time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
What was that small dude? Webster. Remember Webster from Reaper years and years ago? He was like 17 or 18 years old.
The name sounds familiar, but I can't.
Paul Porra, George.
George was a phenomenal good player.
But even the old DNX team or Dynamics, I mean, they were a great roster. Look, there's been so many great paintballers. To try and put together a dream team,
it's going to be really hard.
You know, we should actually try and do a dream paintball team and actually get all those old boys back here and let them play some paintball and let's see what happens. Because the game's changed a lot, eh?
I know, definitely.
The game over the past 4 years, yeah, maybe not in South Africa, but the world, like paintball is growing.
But also, how many of the old players are still playing? Like the likes of guys like Ryan Greenspan, who, for all intents and purposes, in any other professional sport, once you hit 30, it's like, cool, they're going to start pushing you out because the young oaks must come in. And I think the average like professional or semi-pro paintball player's age is between 28 to 31 or 32.
Yeah, at least. Look, it's an expensive sport, so that's when you sort of reach your peak with earning a salary. So you're like, yeah, I can finally afford it. Woo!
So you can finally go pro once you hit like that 28 to 30 mark.
Look, we're not as lucky as the overseas teams. Everything in South Africa is self-funded. We don't have sponsorships. We don't have that type of stuff. So for us, we have to pay our own way. So if we want to get good,
you got to pay money. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a sad reality. But yeah, hopefully, if the SA team can come back with a championship, maybe guys will start backing us.
Yeah.
And then we start going over every year, take a new team and grow the sport.
I know that's the plan. Also to take more than just the men's as well. So possibly take an under 16s, under 9. It's under 16s, under 19s, men's, women's, and then veterans.
Correct.
Hey, maybe there's chance for me to still step on a paintball field again. I just got to wait like another 5 years and I can be on the veterans team.
Oh, we can get some walkers out. And then...
I'd pay money for that to see that, honestly.
Hey, it could be fun.
We make a social day of it.
Oh, there we go. But I'd like to see some old players coming back.
I'd definitely like to see it too.
It's nice to see experience playing. Paintball, you're still young. I mean, even at 50, you can still play this game. Look, you won't be running and diving like the lighties, but you can definitely stand behind a center bunker and shoot
shoot the lighties. Yeah,
exactly,
100%.
But yeah, that would be my dream for SA Ball. Get the old boys back, get youngsters up, and move
and get the ball rolling and going.
We've got
again.
some of the best players in the world, man. If South Africa can get recognized, I can guarantee you South Africans would end up in most of the teams overseas.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure.
So
it would definitely happen.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to Ross for coming to join me here. We thought in the shade today would be a good idea, but then we realized it's like going into winter, so it's cat cold.
Yeah, no, I'm even going blue. I can feel my lips. But yeah, thanks guys for having me. And yeah, please keep supporting SA Paintball.
Yeah, guys,
like and subscribe.
And if you enjoyed what you saw or you didn't enjoy what you see and you've got an opinion, there's a comment section below. Like, subscribe. Actually, yeah, no, wait. Like, subscribe, ring the bell if you really want to, or just hit the subscribe button. And then if you want to argue with me in the comments, argue with Kelly in the comments, because Kelly's probably going to see it before me. You're welcome to do so. And then also, just from Kelly's side, Kelly, where can everybody find us?
KG Productions video on
There we go. Unless Mark's didn't catch it, but KG Productions video on YouTube, and it's KG Productions on Instagram, eh? And Facebook. Three guys.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.